A small caveat, I think, while I'm interacting with many of the learners, I thought it will be important to understand what is net zero, right? And to position it between so much a bigger sustainability space. So when we are talking of sustainability, it is broadly like the dimensions on environmental, economics, people, the social part of it, the biodiversity and broader inclusions. And we will be more focused upon the climate actions part of it. And within climate actions, again, then the broader energy transition, the where the mitigation and adaptations would come. We will be looking into both these aspects, and again, a lot of focus will go into how to drive rightly this energy transition, right? Today, energy is important element for all businesses, for our living life. We cannot imagine life without really having energy in form of electricity, in form of our fuels and transport that we are doing, in form of all the products that we are enjoying and their manufacturing and other things. So it is just present all around us into all our activities, and that's where we start focusing upon like how to decarbonize this thing, how to take some of the bad elements that is happening to the planet with our increased consumptions and in the way we are producing and using. So that's the lot of decarbonization that we'll be focusing upon, and that's where a lot of net zero is what we will be focusing into this program. The other aspects of it, the social inclusion, the diversity, and other elements of sustainability will also be kind of appropriately weaved through the program. But I would say that the major crux of the program, we will really focus on net zero and how to decarbonize and support energy transition. And in the process, also take up new opportunities that the sector is offering. But still just making a quick case so that while we initiate this journey, we all are on same page. Why night zero and what's the structure that we'll be learning and the pedagogy style for this program. I think the world, this last decade is amongst the hottest decade in last 12,000 years, right? So definitely the planet, the Earth is warming up, and this is creating lot of events, climate events what we call, and this climate events are triggering lot of influences on economic losses, on living our agri yield losses, human life losses, and multiple impacts, right? And this is what the net zero is, an approach that intends to curb, right? We cannot stop. We are intending to curb the acceleration pathway of this global temperature rise. We are about to cross 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is kind of established scientifically, where these events will become fairly irreversible. And the entire globe is putting all the efforts together. Like, how do we drive changes to kind of decelerate this temperature rise? And that's where the options are the world put the acts together, not basically moving from planning to also into executions. And if the inactions kind of persist, then I think the intensity of these events and its influence on different activities will only rise. So I think this course stands at that juncture where we will be leveraging the learnings of multiple experts who are coming as trainers into the program. We have partnered with industries who are already working on creating solutions and services in to drive more adoptions of net zero solutions. So it will be a mix learning, practical exposure, from all these different experts and ecosystem that we are building in this program. And as I said, like it will also be us as a peer, right? Many of you are already soaked into this topic, and this joint learning, I think, will give more strength to this program. Next, please. As I said, like this program will definitely have an element of theory, but it will take that theory to case studies, to Excel modeling, so that we just don't know what is solar or what is an EV or what is hydrogen, but we would also understand where their efficiencies are coming from, what are their cost economics, how those cost economics are derived, so that when you apply that same technology to any different applications at any different scales, you are you have that understanding to know what levers you need to model and change to really understand the right economics and be able to drive the right decisions, right, for your organizations that you would be working or representing. So I think that is the space that we will be crossing in this program. We will develop this systems thinking throughout our courses. That's a pedagogy that all our trainers will use, where we will kind of facilitate and encourage all of you to really think from a systems point of view uh, in any solution. More so in net zero, it is so cross-sectoral that if you are trying to solve an electrical problem, then you kind of bring a solar, and then you have to start worrying about the grid, then you have to bring another kind of a solutions, and then you have to also take care of its disposal. So the system, the ecosystem is so very interrelated, as systems thinking will be very, very important to ensure that if we are trying to do one good thing on one element, it bring goodness to all things, and we are taking care of any other elements that the trade-off that needs to be settled rightly, right? So cross functionality is what will be very important, and that will be a kind of a style that we will use in teaching. We have brought companies, evACAD, P-Manifold represent a company who is already working in 60 countries with multiple projects. Our other experts who comes in, the companies who comes in, they all come with so much of sectoral knowledge. And that's what we will kind of start using to kind of connect these different dots in the space. And this is what the program is about, right? It is designed by the industry and for the industry. So really, again, welcoming all of you into this program, and we look forward. And I know OP sir for fairly long. He has 3 decades experience in Indian administrative services in multiple senior roles. He brings such a passion and energy into every role that he has taken. And he is kind of our Bhishma for sustainable transport in India and also global. He was former CEO of WRI, World Resource Institute, India, advisor to World Bank. He is currently a distinguished fellow at Niti Aayog. But what I most like about OP sir is like his unwavering support to capacity building. He has traveled all parts of the world. He is a lead kind of architect and supporter and trainer for one of World Bank program, which is running 84th of its cohort of training the global people and countries around sustainable transport. And when we reached out to him with our thoughts about this program, he really jumped onto it. We are so glad, sir, to have you as our advisor, guiding us in shaping this program. and allowing us to also kind of take this express of capacity building that you are running across the world today, sir. So I request you to share your thoughts with us today, sir.
Thanks very much, Rahul. Thanks for those very kind words. You're more than generous in saying all of that. But let me start by congratulating P Manifold, IIM Kashipur, and EV Academy for setting up a program like this. And I'll tell you why I feel that it is really a laudable initiative that you have taken. I also congratulate all the participants for having joined this program. I think you've done a great thing by joining this program. Your vision is very evident from the fact that you've joined this program. But let me say why this is very important in my own perception. See, I've heard for several years a lot of conversations going on about why climate change is important. The doomsday is not far off, is what is always being talked about. So, a lot of these things that get discussed at the annual conference of parties and these high level discussions. What I have not seen, and honestly not seen at all, is a serious effort at building capacity to implement all these things on the ground. That is completely missing. A lot of the people who talk big about, these high level things, but they don't really focus on, they are not going to do things on the ground. The people who are going to do things on the ground are people like you who've joined this program. Now, no effort has been made so far in equipping you to understand what all that jargon and vocabulary means and what are the actions that you have to take in your sphere of activity. That's why I'm really happy that this program has come up. In fact, to me, the next stage of all the climate actions that needs to be is in building capability to implement whatever has been done. I think the jargon that is being used in this climate community needs to be socialized. Everyone should understand that and know what they have to do in their own spheres. I think I really don't want to say very much more, but very, very keen to see this program going ahead because unless we have people who know how to implement what has to be done, we are really going to be talking in thin air. So let me stop with that, Rahul. I really don't want to say much more, but really happy you started this program and congratulations to your first cohort.